7:34. Today is Election Day, and while it might be a pretty quiet ballot for some of our local communities, there are things happening around the country that political experts are keeping a close eye on, including some at Portland State University.
That's right. Chris Shortell is an associate professor of political science at PSU and has provided us some insight into political matters on the local and the national level. And Chris joins us on the couch right now to discuss some of the most pressing political issues that we're seeing right now. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, recently we got some big news about our representative in Congress from the 3rd Congressional District. Earl Blumenauer says that he's not going to seek another term. What impact do you think that will have on our delegation in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of things. One is he was by far the most senior remaining member of the delegation, and the way that the House delegates certain responsibilities and committee assignments and things like that is based on seniority. So losing some of that seniority for the Oregon delegation might mean fewer opportunities for access to resources for the state that could come out of that. It's also going to be a real change and a turnover for a personality who has been a member of the Oregon delegation for a really long time. And that's going to reframe and restructure what the Oregon delegation as a whole looks like.
Yeah, whoever gets into that position, you know, we've got a couple of candidates who have declared already, including Sushila Jayapal, Multnomah County Commissioner. The priorities that Congressman Blumenauer had, basically transportation, getting cannabis legalized on the federal level. Do you expect those priorities to continue with whoever gets that seat next?
I think to some degree they're likely to, given the reflection of the voters who are putting that person in office. But they might not have the same personal focus on those issues that matter directly to them. I don't think we're going to see a dramatic change in what the representative who's going to take over that position is going to be talking about, but there might be some changes in terms of their personal focus points and what they emphasize, where they dedicate some more of their effort. So we may see some transitions that happen there.
You know, it's interesting with today being Election Day 2023, that means we are now exactly 1 year out from the 2024 election. It's a presidential election. We've already seen the races start to ramp up. Biden's in an interesting spot. Our current president starting to face some new political pressure with everything going on overseas. How is that going to start to have an effect on his campaign for re-election?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a tricky thing being an incumbent. There are all kinds of advantages that come with being the incumbent in office. We've seen presidents tend to be successful when they run for re-election, but not always. And being incumbent means that you are usually blamed for anything that's going on that voters are unhappy with. So you get this dynamic where if people are unhappy with the state of inflation, with foreign affairs, then that blame is going to be directed to the incumbent candidate.
We just did a story earlier about former President Trump testifying in his civil trial in New York. How do you think all of these lawsuits and legal challenges that he's facing is going to affect the election a year out?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're into completely uncharted territory on this. We've never had a former president facing criminal charges who's then running for re-election. And how that's going to play with the public is really hard to gauge because we don't have any past experience to rely on. Generally speaking, we wouldn't expect that to be a real positive. If we look at former President Trump's approval ratings amongst the public, they're pretty low. There's a fairly sizable part of the electorate that doesn't feel very positively towards him. Though he obviously has a very strong core of support. It's not clear that that's going to increase from the support that he had in the 2020 election, which is ultimately what he's going to need.
You know, it's interesting. A recent CBS poll found him a few points ahead of President Biden in this ultimate race. How is the Republican Party going to deal with this as things get further down the line and you start to see other lawmakers being asked for their endorsements? Internally, what are they going to do?
I mean, I think what we've seen thus far is that the Republicans have largely fallen behind and in support of Trump. I think that they are, not all of them, but a large number of them are afraid of going against the supporters of former President Trump. And I think that that is likely to carry through when it comes time for the election itself.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting year.
Yes,
Thank
it
you
is.
very much, Professor, for being here. And to learn more about the Portland State University Political Science Program, just head to pdx.edu/political science.
It is 7:39.